Hi guys, Thomas & Friends 47 here, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Thomas & Friends Motorized Reboot Muddy Thomas. Now, the first thing here with the packaging that you're going to notice is it's basically a carbon copy of what we saw during the CGI era. But it just has All Engines Go artwork in its place, which is a little bit weird to see and it's hard to get used to. Also, with the instructions, they've kind of revamped everything here with All Engines Go lettering and packaging, but basically it's kind of the same thing other than that than from what we've seen before. Now that we've seen the box of the instructions, let's take a look at what's included in this pack. And first up is Thomas. So with Thomas here, you're going to notice he has a lot of detail. Not only does he have the muddy detail on the side, which I think is a nice touch, but you also have the great printing underneath it, and then the boiler bands and the cab windows, things like that. They've actually put a lot of detail into this engine, which I don't know how to feel about that. Here's a view of the front of the engine, and you'll see that they've done a great job on the face. Though I don't think it looks exactly like the show. All Engines Go, it just doesn't capture the same feel, but I don't know. Here's the other side. You'll see that the mud splatter is actually different than the other side. And you'll see there he has the separately molded whistle and boiler bands. And then on the back, you'll see he has that great coal load in the bunker there. It's actually a very good texture coal load there, and the longer coupling bar as well. Now here's the top of the engine. You can get a better look at that whistle there, and the dome, as well as the funnel. There's the switch there as well. And then here's the bottom of the engine, and that middle wheel is actually a separate piece that's been put inside the motor, which I thought was very interesting. And then there's the coupling bar, a very long coupling bar. Alright, now here's the comparison between the Trackmaster 2 version and the new motorized reboot version, and you can see there really isn't any comparison. And it's sad because a lot of layouts are going to be, have to be adjusted to work with these newer engines, which I think they shouldn't have done. I think they should have kept them relatively in scale with the older engines. You can also see too with the couplings that the newer couplings are just like a slight bit like an off-white color instead of the old silver color. Now as for the inside of the engine, you can see there that the whistle is a separately molded piece that's actually put into the body of the engine, and then with the motor over on the left, that is a new mold made specifically for All Engines Go engines, so it is not the same mold reused from Trackmaster 2, which I thought was interesting. You also see that it has that red bar on the left side there where it gets thicker in the middle. That's actually so you can't use it with the old Trackmaster 2 engines, and you can see here it just doesn't work. Alright, but let's take a look at the next thing in this pack, and that is this muddy, troublesome truck. And I must say, I really do like this thing. Although I will say the face is a little bit weird because it actually has the colored eyes, but other than that, I think it's cool. Here's the other side, which is a little bit of a different print. The back of the car, the top of the truck, and you can see the little plank detail. And then, of course, the bottom, which is plain, but that's okay. You also get this hay bale load, which I probably would repaint to look like a covered load, because it doesn't really work as a hay bale for me. Also, you can see that this truck is one of the wobbly ones, so it'll wobble back and forth on the layout. And finally, we have this cow car here, and I think it's pretty cool. If you've watched All Engines Go, you'll know that the cows are kind of a comedic element they've used in several episodes, and I'll be honest, they're actually my favorite characters so far, which I don't know how to feel about that. The truck is very nice, but here's a better look at the cow as well. And it looks a lot what we see in the show, so that's interesting. Alright, so now that we've seen this pack, now comes the question, do I recommend that you buy this? That's a difficult question to answer. So, the fact is, if you are a die-hard Thomas fan who is, classic series only, and someone who doesn't really care about All Engines Go, this probably isn't the pack for you. But if you are willing to, if you want more rolling stock, if you're willing to do something more whimsical on your layout, then this might be a good pack to consider. I do think it has potential, but there is several problems, and that's how I feel about the entire All Engines Go motorized range. Thomas & Friends All Engines Go, at least from a perspective, feels that the company was trying to save money, right? They were trying to cut down on how much they were spending on both the toys and the show. So my thing is, it's very conflicting because Thomas has separately applied whistles. He has printing underneath the mud splatter. Like, there's so much detail here. I mean, arguably even more so than Trackmaster 2 engines had. And so, it's like, it's contradicting itself. It's like it wants to save money, but at the same time, it's applying all this printing to it and all this extra detail that I don't feel really is necessary. And though I do appreciate it because it does mean that, Thomas fans who aren't really that interested in All Engines Go could get this merchandise and collect it and enjoy it, at the same time, it feels like it's conflicting with its own existence. I don't know. It's really weird. But if you are looking for more Trackmaster 2 rolling stock, or excuse me, motorized rolling stock, if the line was to end before that ends, I would probably go with the Muddy Thomas pack, so that you could get that wobbly, troublesome truck and slate car, just because I feel the Party Train pack is just, the cargo's too specified, right? The cars are too specific to that theme. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to get this or not in the comments, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now!